Now we talked about procedures in Visual Basic Programming. There are several types of procedures. A sub-procedure is a group of ordered statements enclosed by sub and sub. A function returns some values and is enclosed between function and function keywords. A property procedure is enclosed between property and property keywords. A sub-procedure doesn't return anything. When you need to return something, you use functions. In VBA, when you need to return something from the function, you assign what you want to return to the function name. In VisualBasic.net, you use the return statement. So for example, you returned the sum of x and y, and x and y are the arguments to the function. In order to call a sub or a functions, you can either use a call statement and then the name of the called procedure and the list of arguments, or you can just use the name of the procedure and also the list of the arguments. If there are functions or sub-procedures with the same names in different modules or forms, then you have to specify the form or the module names specifically. So for example, in module 1, I have a function namely SumNum, and in module 2, I also have a function with the same name. Then when I call the function in module 1, I have to say or to write module 1 dot SumNum. Passing arguments by value or reference. Passing arguments by reference is the default. In this case, the addresses of the variables are passed to the arguments, so the change to the argument variables is preserved after the functions or the procedure finishes. With passing arguments by value, a copy of the variables are passed to the arguments, so any change to the argument variables is destroyed after the function or procedure finishes. Now let's look at some examples. Here we have two sub-procedures, add num1 and add num2, and they are basically the same. Passing by reference is the default, so writing by ref or not writing by ref actually doesn't change anything. Add num3 take x by value, so this is a difference. any change to X is not kept after the sub-procedure finishes. Now look at the sub-procedure, namely test passing 1. Within this sub-procedure, you declare y as integer, and then you store 50 to y, and then you call add num1 and pass y to it. Now looking at this, y is passed to x, so actually x points to y. X and y has the same address. You add 10 to the content in X, or actually y, and store 60 to X. When the the sub-procedure finishes, the change to X and actually also to Y is still kept. So when you display the content of Y, it shows you 60. Now you call add num2 and pass y to it. It repeats the same thing, and when you display y, it gives you 70. So what we see here won't happen there in test passing 2. The reason is in add num3 we use passing by value. So when you passed 50, or you pass a y to x, a copy of y is passed to x. So any change to x within the sub-procedure is not kept. When you display the content of y, it still shows you 50. In VBA, you use public to allow to call the functions or procedures from any module. And you use the private keyword to make limited access to the function or the sub-procedure.